Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at the world of online Islamic education.
Okay.
Specifically, we'll be focusing on the Aarak Online Islamic Institute.
Right.
So we're going to be going through their website, looking at what kinds of courses they have,
Right.
looking at the instructors, and even taking a look at some of the testimonials and seeing what people are saying about it.
Good.
All of this so that hopefully by the end, you, the listener, will have a better idea of whether Aarak is something that you might be interested in.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so,
It seems like right off the bat, Aarak is trying to do something kind of interesting. They're bringing together that traditional Islamic learning, but putting it into this modern online format. They're offering things like Ijazah certification.
yeah.
Which is, like the gold standard if you're studying the Quran. But they're also offering things like dialect-specific Arabic courses.
Right.
So they're recognizing that, when you're learning a language, you don't always just want to learn the formal stuff.
Yeah, you want to be able to actually use it.
Exactly.
So it seems like they're trying to cater to this really wide range of students with different goals and different interests. And
Yeah, and speaking of a wide range,
yeah,
their course catalog is huge.
it's massive.
They've really put a lot of thought into creating a very comprehensive Islamic education online.
Right. And it's not just that they have a lot of courses, it's that they seem to go into a lot of depth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, for example, with the Quranic courses.
They've got everything you could possibly want, it seems like.
Yeah, they've got courses covering recitation, Tajweed, which is the art of pronunciation.
Right.
And they even have the different riwayat, which I have to admit I wasn't familiar with before we started doing the research for this deep dive.
Yeah.
So riwayat are essentially different traditions for reciting the Quran.
Yeah. So whether you're a complete beginner or whether you already have some background in Quranic studies,
They probably have a course for you,
yeah, it seems like they do.
which is really cool. So it's not just the Quran.
No, not at
They
all.
also have a whole section for Arabic.
They've got modern standard Arabic, which of course is what's used in a lot of formal settings.
Right.
But they also have dialects like Egyptian Arabic, Levantine Arabic.
And even Moroccan.
Yeah, so they seem to understand that for many people, learning Arabic is about connecting with different cultures and communities.
Right. It's not just about being able to read a book. It's about being able to talk to people.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, there's the Islamic studies category, which is also pretty massive.
It's extensive, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what they have there.
Sure, so they've got courses on Fiqh, which deals with Islamic law and jurisprudence. Tafsir, which is all about interpreting the Quran.
Okay.
Aqiyah, which explores Islamic beliefs and theology. And Sirah, which is the life of Prophet Muhammad.
So it's really like a full Islamic studies curriculum that you can take online.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like.
And something that I thought was really cool was that they seem to be emphasizing interactivity.
Yeah. Where did you see that?
Especially in the Fiqh courses, it seems like they want to move away from this very passive learning.
Right.
Where you're just sitting there listening to a lecture.
Yeah.
They're actually encouraging students to engage with the material.
I think that's so important, especially, online. It can be very easy to just sort of zone out.
Absolutely.
But if you're actually being asked to think about what you're learning,
Right.
it's going to stick with you so much better.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
And the tafsir courses as well,
Yeah.
they keep talking about deep understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just, giving you the surface level interpretation.
Right.
They really want you to think critically about the text.
Which is so important when you're dealing with religious texts.
Absolutely.
So, we've got this incredibly diverse range of courses,
Mm-hmm.
but who are the people actually teaching them?
That's a great question.
Aarak has this section called Expert Teachers,
Yeah.
and they're very proud to highlight that their instructors are certified by Al-Azhar University.
Right, which is one of the oldest and most respected Islamic institutions in the world.
Exactly.
So that definitely lends a lot of credibility to their program.
Yeah, it really does.
But it also makes you wonder, what other qualities are they looking for in their instructors? Do they care about, different teaching styles?
Right.
Do they emphasize the ability to connect with students online?
Yeah, because just because you know a lot about Islam doesn't necessarily mean you're a good teacher.
That's very true. And especially online, it's a whole different skill set.
So let's take a look at a few of these instructors to get a better sense of who they are and what they bring to the table.
Sounds good. Who stood out to you?
Well, there's Omar Kamal El-Shazli, who has over 5 years of experience teaching Quran, Islamic studies, and Arabic.
Wow.
So that's quite a range.
Yeah.
And then there's Mohammed Sidek, who seems very passionate about creating a supportive learning environment.
Okay.
And we can't forget about Ezra Mahmoud El-Shazli, who's an Egyptian Quran reciter.
Oh, wow.
And she's actually proficient in 4 different riwayats.
That's very impressive.
So it seems like they've got a good mix of experience and expertise.
Yeah, definitely.
But to really gauge the quality of the teaching,
we need to hear from the students themselves.
Right. So let's take a look at some of those testimonials and see what people are actually saying about Aarak. So Aarak has this whole section on their website dedicated to student testimonials.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, it's one thing to hear about the courses and the instructors.
Right.
But it's another thing altogether to hear from the students themselves.
Right, to get a glimpse into what the experience is actually like.
Exactly. So what kind of student experiences did you find particularly insightful?
Well, there was one from a parent named Sarah who talked about her initial hesitation about having her son learn online.
Oh, interesting.
Her son was 5 years old.
Wow, yeah, at that age you might be a little hesitant.
Right, exactly.
To have them in front of a screen all day.
But she was really impressed with the teacher's patience.
Oh, good.
And ability to engage her son, even in a virtual setting.
Yeah, I think that's so crucial for young learners especially.
Right.
You know, they need that extra bit of attention and encouragement.
And it's got to be tough, you know, to keep a 5-year-old focused.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially online.
Especially online, yeah. So it sounds like Aarak is doing a good job of creating that welcoming and supportive environment.
Exactly.
It's not just about delivering information. It's also about nurturing that sense of community and belonging.
Right. And speaking of community, Aarak mentions having thousands of students enrolling every day.
Oh, wow.
Which, you know, suggests a pretty vibrant learning environment.
Right. That many people are signing up. It must be something special.
And I think that can be really motivating as well.
Absolutely. That feeling of being part of a larger community can really enhance your learning experience.
It's really interesting to see how Aarak is combining this convenience of online learning with that traditional emphasis on community.
Yeah, they're not losing sight of those important aspects.
But their mission goes beyond just creating a platform for learning.
Right.
It seems like they have a deeper vision.
Yeah, this is where we get to the heart of what makes Aarak so unique. It's not just about, you know, teaching the mechanics of Quran recitation or Arabic grammar or Islamic principles.
They're aiming for something a lot more profound.
Yes, a deeper connection to Islam.
Yeah.
A transformation that goes beyond just acquiring knowledge.
And this is where the name Aarak itself becomes really interesting because it's derived from the siwak tree.
Yes, which has a special significance in Islamic tradition.
Exactly. The Prophet Muhammad recommended using the siwak for purification.
So the name itself connects to this idea of cleansing and spiritual growth.
Right. It's not just a random word.
Exactly.
It's really a reflection of their core philosophy.
And I love that they're being so intentional with their name.
Yeah, me too.
Shows that they've really thought about their mission and values.
You know, it's funny because I grew up using miswak.
Oh, really?
Which is what we call it in my culture.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing how something so simple can hold so much cultural and spiritual meaning.
Yeah, and it seems like Aarak is trying to embody that same spirit in their approach to education.
Exactly. They want to equip students with knowledge, yes, but also to empower them to apply it to their lives, to strengthen their faith, to navigate their relationship with Islam with confidence.
It's really a holistic approach that recognizes that knowledge and spirituality and personal growth are all interconnected.
Right, they're not separate things.
Exactly, they all work together.
So we've talked about what Aarak offers, we've talked about the people behind it.
Yeah, we've even heard from some of the students. But the question is, does Aarak align with your individual learning goals?
Right, because ultimately that's what matters.
Exactly.
What are you hoping to gain from this kind of learning experience? So now it's time for you to reflect on your own needs and interests.
Right, think about what you're looking for.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
we'll recap some of the key takeaways
and leave you with a few final thoughts to consider. So we've really gone in depth with Aarak, haven't we?
We have. A lot to consider.
We've seen just how many courses they offer, everything from Quranic recitation and Tajweed to different riwayat, all those Arabic dialects. They even have that intensive course if you want to.
If you want to really dive in.
We're in Arabic quickly, yeah. And of course, we talked about the Islamic studies courses, Fiqh, Tafsir, Aqidah, Sirah. It's really a lot.
It is. They really do seem to cover it all.
And what I think is really impressive is that they don't just want to give you information. They actually want you to understand it.
Yeah, that seems to be a real focus for them.
Like with the tafsir courses.
Yeah, they emphasize deep understanding.
And the fiqh courses, they really try to make it interactive.
So you're not just passively listening.
You're actually having to think about what you're learning.
Exactly. And that makes a big difference.
It really does. And they've brought together this team of expert teachers to help guide students along.
And what a team. I mean, so many of them certified by Al-Azhar.
It's impressive. Al-Azhar is really one of the top Islamic institutions in the world.
It is. So, you're getting quality instruction.
But it's not just about their qualifications.
Right.
They also seem to have this real passion for teaching.
That came across really clearly in their bios.
And they really seem to care about creating that...
a supportive learning environment.
Yeah, remember Sarah?
Oh, yeah, the mom who was hesitant about her son learning online.
Yeah, but she was so impressed with the teacher's patience and...
Yeah, the way they were able to connect with her son.
Even though it was online.
It's amazing how they're able to create that personal touch.
Even in a virtual setting.
It really speaks to their dedication, I think.
And then there's that whole community aspect.
Yeah.
Thousands of students enrolling every day.
It really does give you that sense of being part of something bigger.
Right. You're not just on your own little island.
You're part of a community of learners.
And I think that can be really encouraging and motivating.
Absolutely.
But to me, what really sets Aarak apart is their mission.
I agree.
It's not just about gaining knowledge.
It's about something much deeper.
Yeah, it's about cultivating that connection with Islam.
Yeah.
And that's reflected even in their name, Aarak.
Right. From the sawak tree.
It's that symbol of purification.
Cleansing and spiritual growth.
And it was great to hear about your own connection to the miswak.
Yeah, it's amazing how these traditions can really resonate across cultures.
They really can.
And I think Aarak understands that Islamic education is not just about information.
It's about transformation.
Empowerment.
And building a real relationship with your faith.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Aarak,
we want to leave you with this one thought.
Does Aarak's approach resonate with you?
Do their values align with your own?
If you're looking for an online platform
that combines traditional Islamic knowledge
with a really modern approach
that emphasizes deep understanding,
encourages critical thinking,
and fosters that sense of community and spiritual growth,
then Aarak might be worth checking out.
Definitely.
Go to their website, maybe even try a free trial.
If they have one.
The best way to know if it's the right fit for you
is to experience it firsthand.
Happy learning, everyone!